What's up, Cam?
Hey Jordy, how are you, man?
Good, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, good, good, good.
Thanks for jumping on. I'm so pumped for this. So, is your name Cam, like Cameron?
Yeah.
Beauty. All right, mate. Well, yeah, thanks for jumping on for the Fan Friday. Today we're going to be chatting all things West Tigers. But we'll start off with you. If you want to introduce yourself to the audience, who you are, maybe what you do, and then when you started following the Tigers.
Yeah, so I'm Cameron. I also do YouTube. I haven't done YouTube in a while. I do like chili reviews and stuff. So Cam's Killer Sources is where you can find me. I've been a Tigers fan basically since they came into the comp. My father was a Western Suburbs Magpies supporter, so essentially when they merged, I had no choice but to become a Tiger. So yeah, I've been basically since 2000.
For sure, yeah. And then who's your favorite player of all time if you had to choose one?
Benji.
Absolutely. I mean, who doesn't love
It's
Benji?
a no-brainer.
Yep, I agree, mate. I agree. Sweet. Well, we won't waste any time. We've had a huge season as a club. You and I both know that. We've had, some great victories. We've also had some crazy losses, and also just a lot of heartbreak and drama throughout the whole thing, right? So, what's your confidence level? This overall season for me, like it started, I was very confident. Making top eight. Now I'm at a point like where we have to win this game against the Sea Eagles, and then the Roosters as well. That I think that we can actually make a good shot at top eight. So, how are you feeling thus far in the season?
I'm still quietly confident. There are a lot of fans that are sort of on the edge. I've noticed, even being out at Campbelltown Stadium to watch the boys. I didn't go to the last game because I was a bit uneasy about it, but being Canberra and how good they've been this season. But yeah, just by being around fans around Campbelltown and stuff, a lot of fans are sort of on the fence, but I'm still quietly confident we do have all the boys and we're a totally different team this year. I still reckon we've got a good chance if LATU, especially, which glad about the team list this week. I'm glad that LATU's playing in the seven. Um, I still am quietly confident we can make a push to the finals. Like every loss besides the Melbourne loss this year have been really close. But we're just got to get our first half together.
Absolutely, yeah. And like you said, every loss this year, except for Melbourne, has
Yeah,
been extremely close. Like we even saw that last week. I mean, within 2 points, like with the comeback that
yeah,
we had in that second half, when things start firing, I'm loving this JAROME LUAI LATU FAINU combination
yeah.
that we've seen, and now LATU's at number six, LUAI, sorry, at number
LATU's
seven,
seven.
yeah, LUAI's at number six, like the good old days, like this is something that we could be, on the verge of something great, right? Like I
Yeah.
see so much Benji Marshall and LATU, and like JAROME LUAI is a premiership win in half. Like he knows how to play. So that combo is super exciting. But there is one bit of bad news that we have gotten recently. That's Jareem Buller being out,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah,
that sucks.
exactly.
How are you feeling about that? Benji's
I'm a bit
Mason.
bummed about it, to be honest. But I am glad that Benji has put Heath Mason into the number one. But I potentially would have liked to see probably Laliti in that one spot. I don't reckon that Dewey should be benched only because of his goal kicking. I know
Mhm.
Appy can kick, but again, I still would prefer Dewey there. And the last couple of weeks, I've been quite surprised with Dewey after all he's been through. He's
Yep.
been really good the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely. Yeah, there was a kind of a few games there where his kicking just wasn't up to par, and then something switched. I'm sure Benji kind of got into his ear about it, but something switched, and then we
And
started
he's also got Hodjo there too, one of the
yeah,
best
one
kickers we've ever
best
had.
kickers. Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Has anyone surprised you this season? It can be positively, it can be negatively. Let's leave the man who shall be nameless out of this because we all
Yeah.
know that he surprised us in horrible ways. But anyone else?
Bolle actually. He's really surprised me. I've always known he's a beast, but this year he's been really, really, really good for us. And it really hurt when he was out for those few weeks for us.
Definitely.
He's been awesome for us. But again, all the FAINU brothers too, they've been unreal, like unreal.
I
What?
know, man. I know.
One of them. I think it was Samuela. He had one or two dodgy games, but for a whole, like the brothers have been killing it.
Absolutely. Now then we've got, we got those brothers, we got the May
The
brothers
May
in.
brothers, the
Man, I'm
Lalisi
just yeah,
brothers.
the LUAI brother. Like there's so much family, right, in this club. And I think for me, that's part of the reason why I still follow this club is my grandpa was a follower, my dad was a
Yep,
follower, I'm a follower, like, and then to see Benji, come in and make it his own,
yep,
and to be one of the greatest that would ever played in the NRL, but also within the West Tigers. So Richo came out this past few days and was like, "Hey, Benji is the future of this club. There's
which is
no
good.
pressure on him whatsoever," which I'm like, "Heck yeah, I love this." Are we finally seeing some of the club culture that Benji has wanted? How are you feeling about Benji overall? Are you pro Benji? Are you like anti Benji? There's a whole debacle about it. Where are you at? And yeah, what are your thoughts on Marshall right now?
Well, me being such a Benji fan, I love it. Uh, I believe he's doing the right thing for the club. There may be a lot of people that say he might not be. He is a new coach after all, so he sort of basically got thrown into the role. But I think he's doing a good job again, putting family first before. Obviously, it's a football team and we all want to succeed. But knowing that his family first, the players, and we've got rid of some of that bad juju uh, with the board and the person we don't name.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, but I believe Benji's doing a great job for what he like. Last year, there wasn't really much he could do. But with the roster he's got this year, I still believe we can play finals footy. We just need to get those little things right.
For sure. Now, if you were Benji, what would you be hammering the team about? What are those little things?
Consistency. We definitely need consistency. Like we're so good in the second half of games, but that first half, for some reason this year, we're not clicking. And I've noticed soon as Romy steps up, the whole team follows. So we
Hmm.
need a bit more punch from Romy because when Romy leads, the whole team follows and we fall in line. But if I was Benji, I would just be basic, complete your sets, make your tackles because that's what wins your football games, defense.
Exactly, definitely,
Um,
and that's what I've said. Defense, and like we saw that at the start of the season, our defensive line,
yeah,
especially on
was
that
really
try
good.
line cam, wasn't that wild? And we've
Yeah,
kind of fell
really
off that.
good.
I feel, just with
Yeah,
all the change and the gossip and just everything that's come this year at us, injuries, all of that. But like last week, I had a glimpse of like, oh crap! Then the second half, like, dang, we might actually be back, baby. Like things are
if
actually
we
starting to
play that
click again.
second half the way, like for 80 minutes, who knows what we can do as a club?
Oh my goodness, exactly. And then Jarrell Skelton's back, and he's that
Yeah,
big-bodied outside back that we need. We got Talon May as well.
yeah.
That's another kind of hot take, if you will. Where would you put Talon May once he's ready to come play on the first grade level?
Well, this might get me a few dislikes with some of the fans, but personally, I would get rid of Stafford Toa and put
Oh.
Talon May in his position because I love Dewey as a player. He's that big body, he's tall, he's lanky, he can kick. So I'd probably run Stafford off the bench. That's just my personal opinion, and I'd put Talon into his position.
For sure. And guys, if you're listening, like everyone's allowed their opinion, don't come at him. Like for me personally, I love Dewey. I love him the bits, but I would put
Yep,
Talon where Dewey is, and that's
yep,
all right. Everyone can think what they want to think,
exactly.
right? But
Everyone's got their own opinion.
exactly. But I think Dewey or Stafford, either way, deserve
Yeah,
to be here on the bench at least long
definitely.
term. There's also talk of like Skelton moving into a center position, Talon moving into the wing there. Because Jarrell does have such a big body.
Yeah.
Defensively, he's great. On attack, he knows how to run gaps. Like there are
Oh,
so many options, and that's my fear as a club right now, Cam, is like we don't have enough positions for all this great talent. Do you agree?
yeah, yeah. No, that's one thing that we've never really had, which is maybe a curse. And, because obviously you've got all these players, some players get pushed out like TDS.
Yep, yep.
We don't know what the go is with him at the moment. But yeah, it's a headache, a good headache to have, I suppose, for Benji.
Absolutely. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so Yeah, kind of TDS. We for a long time we've been looking at Appy as our future nine. TDS now has come out and like say, hey, like I'm looking elsewhere, but he's still getting played on the bench. Do you think we'll see him stick around, or do you think he, will get taken up by another club?
I personally reckon he'll go. Um, Probably to the Dogs. I
Mm,
reckon. I don't want him to go, but again, he's not going to sit there and wait around for Appy to because he wants to play first
right.
grade. And if Appy's there, and like, I love Appy,
Mm-hmm.
but we definitely need to invest in our young guns.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a bitter pill to swallow to lose Appy because so many people love Appy and he's done so much for this club. But
Right.
I still reckon we need to invest in talent.
Yep, I agree, man. I agree. And then with that, with that good hooker always comes a good forward pack. How do you
Yeah.
feel our forward pack's looking right now? In this far in the season, we know we have Kai Pierce Paul coming possibly sooner, which would be
Yep.
just extraordinary. But at the start of the season, we were like, I know on this channel at least, we were saying like, hey, we have a depth problem in our forward pack and we need
Mm.
to fill that. We saw the extension of Tony Suka there. We saw the signing of Kai Pierce Paul. That's going to help a lot. What are your thoughts on the
Yep.
forward pack, and do you think they're going to be a pivotal part in helping us make top eight this year?
Yeah. Well, I would arguably say we've got one of the best forward packs in the game. Whether or not they decide to play like that is the question. But the Terminator, he's been unreal for
I
us.
know, man. I know.
Uh, Bolle, I'm big fan of Bolle. Twali's good. Seyfarth, had a bit of a up and down season. He needs that real mongrel that he had last year. Like last year, he was just on fire. This year,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see that impact that he had. Like he was good last week, in that second half anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's just not lacking that. He's lacking that punch for me. Birdie's been good. It's good to see him get a start.
Yep.
Um, the bench have been good. Like Tony Sukar, he's been really good off the bench.
Yep.
I would like to see a few of the young guns get a go, but again, they've just got to work hard for each other. Like Tyrell's basically doing all the work out there. Bolle's been good. Obviously, last week was his first game back, but yeah, our forward pack's good. It's solid. They just need to work together.
Yep.
I find sometimes they can get a bit complacent. So
I agree, man, 100%. And like, yeah, you said young guns, like instantly I think of Kit Lowry, right? Like having him on that forward pack eventually, and then having his brother Luke out on an outside
yeah.
edge. Like, could you imagine that? Like, yeah, Kit is just on another level. He's a big-bodied young fella that knows how to run the ball. And then I kind of think the same thing for like Latu Fainu. Like, could we see
Mm,
him being a ball playing lock eventually? Like, with Heath Mason coming through. Like, could we see Latu move into more of a ball playing lock? That's something I think we should definitely look into and investigate, because I think having a ball playing lock that, has a half experience would actually be a
yeah.
huge benefit to us. But someone that hasn't kind of, gotten all the great reviews this year definitely has to be Rolls Royce Hunt. What are your thoughts on him, especially these last few weeks? Like, I heard he played 20 something minutes last game in New South Wales Cup and he made one run. And I don't know, that to me is a little concerning. What are your thoughts on old Hunty?
Yeah, well, start of the season, I was excited for the signing because I know he's that big, bulky forward that
Mm-hmm.
can really punch the line. But yeah, as I've heard too, even in Cup, he's been quite average. So I don't know if it's a fitness thing or something, but that's something he needs to work on because when he's playing his best football, he's a really damaging forward. So, like, I guess he needs to get his stuff together.
Absolutely.
It's like he's got the potential to be like a damaging forward, but if he's even playing average in cup, like I don't see him making the first grade team any soon.
Yeah, I agree, man. Definitely agree. And someone else that's like playing pretty well in first grade, yeah, sorry, playing well in cup, has to be Jared Haywood, man. Like, have you seen much of him?
Not really, Not
Okay,
really, no.
so he's this gun like number nine, dude. Like he's like Talon de Silva, the next Talon de Silva. And so if TDS ends up going somewhere, I genuinely believe we're going to be just fine. It's going to suck for sure
Yeah,
because TDS is a huge asset to our team. But knowing that we have Haywood in there, can make those runs, make those dummies, and like do everything that we need him to do. And with Appy like possibly, exiting NRL here in a few years, like be thinking of that and like how we can sign those young guns because we have so much talent coming through our system right now. It's kind of
yeah.
crazy. And with that, like, what would be your if you were the coach, you were the head guy, and you were like, all right, we're going up against, let's for example, we're going up against the Sydney Roosters. What is going to be your starting lineup? What is your roster, your dream roster that from all of our guys right now?
My dream roster, Buller at the back. Um, then I would have Dewey, Skelton, May. No, yeah, May and Taruva.
Hmm.
Um, then at 6, I would have LUAI. 7, I would have FAINU. 8, May. 9, Appy. If he's still there, but yeah, no, Appy would be my 9. 10, I would probably go Bolle.
Hmm.
Um, 11, who would I put 11? Probably Fainu. 12, his brother.
Hmm.
And then 13, I'd probably go with either Birdie or Twally.
Hmm.
Probably, probably Birdie. I reckon Birdie's just got that good punch straight off the bat. I've found Twally sort of has to play a few minutes before he starts to fire up. And then 14, I would have Talon de Silva. And then to finish off the bench, I would have Sukar, um, Mason, and I'm going to throw a curveball in there and probably probably have Lali in there.
Kit or Luke?
Either.
Either. Yeah, I
Either.
mean, solid choice. Solid
They're both
choice.
solid.
Definitely. And then if you had to drop one player from our squad, who would it be and why?
Probably Safer, just because he's hasn't been firing like I know he can.
Definitely. Yeah, it's sad to see because like Big Red,
Yeah,
like yeah, like you said last year, even just his intensity that he brought to that field, I was getting pumped up. Like
yeah,
those runs he had, those passes, like everything about him, his tackles even. And we've seen glimpses this season, but really it's
exactly.
just kind of disappointing, eh, man? So
Yeah.
for sure. And I believe the West Tigers have one more spot, one more signing that we can do this year before June 30, from what I understand. Who would you sign? Would you go, or who would you extend? Would you go internal, or would you look at external? There's talk of, Sexton from from the doggies coming over.
Dogs, yeah.
It'd be a great halfback. Like, what would you do? What are you thinking right now?
I definitely wouldn't take Sexton.
Okay.
We need to invest in our talent. So I would extend Latu.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as opposed to bringing anyone over, I, I don't think so. I think I would just invest in what we have now.
Yeah, because we
Um,
do really have good stuff.
yeah. We and like our pathways are looking really good. Like I live out Campbelltown way, and the Macarthur region is just full of talent. So
Love that. Love that.
yeah, I would reinvest in what we have, like so possibly extend Dewey for maybe a year or two. Um, Appy I would like to keep, but also would like to keep Talon. So it's a 50-50 there. But yeah, I would definitely invest in our young guns. Probably offer Latu a bigger deal. Not so much
Absolutely.
like the other person, but offer him somewhat of a better deal.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Latu also seems like more of a genuine human, right? In my
Yeah,
opinion. And I obviously don't know them, but
Yeah,
just from the way that they interact with the media, social media, like everything about him, like and his brothers, they just seem like
yeah.
genuine, down to earth blokes that you really want part of your team. So a question I was gonna ask is, do you think, we're building a premiership team and like I genuinely believe we are, and it sounds like you believe we are. Will it be
Definitely.
this year? I don't think so. I
No.
think we can still, scrape by the top eight, but anything, honestly, top 14 would be a huge improvement for
Oh,
us, right?
definitely. Yeah, we
And
haven't
so
made finals in like since '07, I think it was.
yeah, it's
It's
literally been
been way
like
too
nearly a
long.
decade. Yeah, it's been over a decade. It's
Way too long.
crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And then is there a moment this year that you've been like, yep, that's why I support this team, and what was that moment?
It was probably last week when LATU in the second half and Romy they got together and to be able to see what they were able to do together um has really made me excited for what the future brings for those two in our team.
Absolutely. And before Latu was Heath Mason, when he was out with his injury, Mason stepped in. He did a great job. I love
Yeah,
Mason. I think there is a place for him on this team. I just think the last, game or in a bit have just been a little
yeah,
iffy. There's things that he's
yeah,
missed, and I get it. Like he's young. This is his first experience, first grade footy. They're targeting, all teams are targeting him, especially when we're on defense, like just trying to wear him out and, putting that pressure on attack as well.
yeah.
What do you think is the future for Heath Mason on this team? Do you think he might be like would be better off somewhere else? What are your overall thoughts on Mason? And yeah, how do you feel about him stepping in at one?
I do think he's a great player, and don't get me wrong, I love him as a player. I just don't think he's quite suited for the halves, in my opinion. In my opinion, he's a great fullback. We've seen glimpses of that. I think was it last year or at the start of this year where he played fullback. I'm not too sure, but he was really good for us in fullback. And yes, he's been good for us in the 5'8". I just personally think that Romy and Latu need to have that halves combination
Mhm.
because, as we've seen for the last few weeks, as soon as Latu's come on, they've turned it on. Um, but Heath Mason, yeah, great player. I'm happy that he's been extended. Either fullback, but I don't want him at fullback because we've got Buller there. But until
Mhm.
Buller gets back, fullback, I reckon, is probably his best position. But he could possibly play in the centres. But again, we've got too much choice.
I know
Centres,
it's
wingers,
wild.
got too much choice.
It's
But yeah, I
crazy.
personally think he's a fullback.
Yep, I agree, man. And we saw that, with the way that he was running in the halves, like, the
Yeah,
way he would step, there's everything about the way he was playing. It was like more left to right rather than
yeah,
straight direct, right? And I get that he's been in that position for a few years, but traditionally is a half, so just getting back into that rhythm. So I'm really excited to see how he plays in at number one if Benji keeps him there while
yeah.
Buller's out. But yeah, super super pumped to see that. One question I did have now that we got talking about Latu is, what do you think his biggest weakness is?
Oh, well, he's good in defence. So I haven't seen much of his kicking game.
Hmm.
So I'd like to see a lot more of that. He's speedy. Maybe run the line a little bit more. But
Hmm.
again, we've only seen glimpses of him, so it's really hard to say for me what his weakness is because we've only seen like short glimpses of him so far. But I would definitely like to see a lot more kicking from him. And hopefully this week with the seven jumper on his back, he's able to do that. Um, and yeah, I guess yeah, like I said, for me personally, it's just too hard to see a weakness right now because, again, we've only seen little glimpses of him, maybe a half a footy, a half and a bit of footy. So once I hopefully see a whole half a footy of him, maybe I'll be able to pick at him and stuff. But at the moment, he's been good for us and he's helped Jerome LUAI out so much, which is what we need.
Absolutely, yeah, couldn't agree more, man. And then yeah, with him, I would really love to see his kicking game and like to have Jerome Luai with his kicking game, which is on point, and then
Yep.
having that on the other side of the field, like when he's running his side, that would be epic to see. So yeah, super super pumped to see how he does in that halfback position. I think Benji's making the right call. I really
Yep.
do. Looking
Definitely,
forward,
definitely.
yeah, looking forward to the Roosters game that we have next week. Which this will probably be released the week of.
Yep.
How do you think we're going to go? Up against the Roosters?
Well, it will all depend on how we do this week.
Hmm.
I'm still quietly confident. Like I said, I've been confident in the boys all year. I've been riding the highs and the lows, like we do as Tigers fans, and like we've had to for how many years now. Um, I'm quietly confident we can beat the Roosters. We've almost beat Canberra, who are leading the competition, and that was in one half of footy. So if we turn it up and play 80 minutes of footy like we did in the second half last week against Canberra, the sky's the limit for this club.
Yep, I agree, man. I couldn't agree more because I believe following that we have the Warriors, and I remember in preseason or like early rounds, like we went up against Warriors and we
Yep.
actually put up a really really good fight. So I'm super pumped for this. I'm super pumped for the next few weeks. I think. Those early games were great to get some wins under our belt, get some points on that table, right?
Yep.
We've had our losing streak, and so I'm
Yep.
ready to win some games. One for just morale and confidence, but two, just to see, what we actually have going. Because I think we're really going to shock the NRL once we turn it on. That,
Oh, definitely.
LATU, JAROME LUAI combo. I think there's going to be a lot of people talking about us in a good way for like finally this season because yeah, we
Yeah.
mean to start with, Justin Olam leaving retirement. We
Yeah.
had Clemmer leave. We had the man Charamaine nameless leave, and there's just been so many things this season that just keep wearing us down. And like I've had Isaac Issa on the channel. He's an NRL analysis, and he said like the media plays such a huge part in the team mentality and chemistry. And I finally feel like we can just breathe. Things are happening. Yes, the Buller thing sucks, but
Yeah.
we haven't lost him, right? We've lost him
No,
for
that's
four or
right.
six
Yeah.
weeks. We know he's coming back, but like, I feel like it's finally our time to finally let Benji just cook, just let him just do what he wants to do. And he's got a great team. And so I'm super, super pumped to see how we finish out this season. And Lord willing, we make the finals. That would be
I'm
so
hoping
sick.
so.
Yeah.
But it's
Who,
good to see that
yeah.
Richo's put his faith in Benji, even come out saying, even if we did get the spoon again this year, which I hope we don't,
Right.
that Benji's job is safe, which is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's super reassuring and like yeah, like this is part of a rebuild, and
That's right.
does
That's right.
this rebuild definitely maybe has gone on a little too long, but I'm starting to see the fruit of that and I'm super
Yeah.
super pumped. Who do you think's the most underrated player on our team this year?
Um, I will say volley.
Bolo, I agree. I agree. And so we'll start wrapping things up. Why do you keep supporting this team, man? Like, we've been through the highs, been through the lows, disappointment for the last 5 weeks in a row. Why do you stick around?
I've always loved the club, and a few years there, it's been hard where it's like, why am I a Tigers fan? But again, I've I just love the club. I always have loved the club. When I was young and I was a kid, I used to cry when we lost. So that's how much I love the club.
Oh,
um, and I just love the new culture that Benji and Richo's brought to the club. I think that it's only onwards and upwards from here. We've bought well. We've invested in some of our young talent, and I'm excited for the future.
definitely, man. I agree. I'm right on point there with you. How would you explain being a Tigers fan to someone who, had no clue? Like, I'm in America, so I
Ah,
talk about my team all the time. They're like,
yeah,
okay, cool. And the way I explain it is like, do you know that moment when you get so happy about something and it gets just ripped out underneath you? Like you hold in a balloon as a kid and then it just flies away and it's just
wait,
horrible. That's how I explain being a Tigers fan. But
yeah.
mum or dad is going to give you another balloon to shut you up, right? How do you explain being a Tigers fan to someone?
Mostly because obviously I live here in the area. It's just I wear my colours, win, lose or draw. So I'm always in my colours. Oh, you're a Tigers fan? Yes, I'm a Tigers fan. Uh, when you've been through all the hard times this club's been through over the past however many years, people just say, "Oh, you're a Tigers fan." Yeah, I'm a Tigers fan.
Definitely. And then yeah, do you have any questions for me or for the audience watching that you want to ask that they can get commenting or I can reply to?
Nah, seems pretty good from my end.
Sweet.
I'm just loving your content, and hope you keep it up, man. I'm enjoying it.
Appreciate it. Definitely will, man. Daily uploads for sure. I just love like it helps me connect with all you guys back home because like my
Yeah.
wife's from America, so I moved here and I love it here. And like,
Yep.
I wouldn't change it for the world, but like just missing that piece in my heart, just want to connect with Aussies, but also just a team we all love and call the West Tigers. So this has been
And being able to see them play.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, getting up and at 2, 3 in the morning watching the live stream with you guys, like it's been so much
Yeah.
fun. And so yeah, I super appreciate you supporting the channel, jumping on today, man. Like, yeah, I greatly appreciate you reaching out and making that happen. So, yeah, for that, without any further ado, thanks for joining the Fan
No
Fridays,
worries.
mate. Up the
Thank you.
Tigers always, and yeah, we'll touch base again soon. We'll have to do this again.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
All
Take it
right.
easy, George.
Yeah, you too, mate. See ya.
See you, man.